Coming to you live from Geekly Studios in DeSoto, Texas. Sports Studios in DeSoto, Texas. King David Reeves and the Mentor Connector podcast present another mentor moment. Great day, great mentors, rise and grind. It's time to shine. Welcome to another special episode here on the Mentor Connector podcast for the Geekly Esports Masterclass. I'm your host, King David Reeves, and we have a very special guest with us today, a good brother of mine, actually a childhood friend from none other than Lancaster, Texas, man. Shout out L-Town. We went to L-Town. like middle school, junior high together. And this brother here is an opera singer, ladies and gentlemen. He's one of the few and elite black Dallas opera singers out here. I don't even know any opera singers other than this brother right here. And he actually served before that in the Houston Opera House. And he also is an LVN, and he'll speak more about that and just give you more of his life story and journey to even becoming what he is today as a professional opera singer, which I can't even imagine what that takes because my voice won't even let me go up all the octaves that I'm sure he's hitting with his baritone. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I brought this brother here to share his story and journey with y'all. Y'all please give a warm welcome to my good brother, Mr. Anthony Dixon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
I appreciate all the gas, man.
Oh, man.
I appreciate
trying to fill your tank, my brother.
I appreciate it.
So I'm doing it while the gas is cheap out here. That's all, man. This is the perfect time, man. It's going back up.
Yeah, it's going to go back up. We got a Republican in office.
Absolutely. It said, hey, man.
Sorry about that.
Hey, man, you throwing politics out there already. So nothing's off limits then. Oh, we're doing it. Said, I support whoever's running the country. Our commander-in-chief.
I do, too.
That's the military answer. Mm-hmm. Hey, man. Hey, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. I'm tired. I had to sing a little bit earlier today, but we're making it.
What you mean you had to sing? Because you can't just throw that out there like anybody else sings. Like, I had to sing early today, too, because my daughter was acting up. So we had to sing some lullabies and stuff. Like, normal people sing in the shower. But you, you're a whole opera singer out here, man.
Yeah, but, I sing, like, all the time. So it's really
it's your norm.
Nothing to me. Yes, it's pretty much normal to me, whether it's giving a voice lesson, at the house singing. We can't go to church right now, but I still sang in the church.
Virtually,
and,
yeah.
Did the praise and worship leader stuff. So singing is an everyday thing. If I don't have a voice, if my voice is scratchy or something, that's when I have a bad day because I can't sing.
I feel you.
But no, I sang earlier. It's my true passion, man. Earlier, I did a recording for. I can't say too much about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Give us the exclusive. Say what you can.
There is a recording that we're doing. Of course, with the social distancing thing, it's just us and the pianist.
Right.
With a famous opera house in Dallas, the Dallas Opera. Where they're shining light on some of the ethnic, black, Latino singers that we have there. And most of us are young. When I say young, I mean like 32 to 35. That's still considered young in the opera field for voices.
Just for y'all teenagers out there who
we're still
trying to come for us. No, we're young.
Still considered young. It takes a long time to get to this point, but they're shining light on our voices, and we get a little time to give a solo or two. And that's pretty much all I can say. It will be coming soon to pretty much Facebook, YouTube, all of that.
So some of your peers who are within the Opera House and who've do you have any other connections with those peers?
With some of them, it's crazy because I did not graduate from SFA, but that's where I started my training.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just see
And
that. And you graduated TSU.
it's a predominantly white school, and not saying that to. Let me choose my words carefully here.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
TSU, now they are training their students to up to a level to where, you know, they can be more prepared. But SFA was very much so the core of my training process of getting to be like, okay, I think I'm going to be an opera singer one day, or I can sing opera and I'm gonna be a voice teacher or whatever. So I didn't, SFA. So at SFA, I met a few of the singers that are now in Dallas Opera, and it's about two of them, one Hispanic and one African American female, and she's
Nice.
a soprano.
So-
one is a tenor. They're actually married.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so they're doing that, that in response to everything that's going on around.
It
Black
seems
Lives
to be
Matter.
that way, David. I think so.
Oh,
I mean, I think everybody is trying to stand for something. You know,
Yeah,
those who
and
are
show
not.
support. Yeah.
Yeah, those who are not, we already know what that is. But those who are, I think they're really trying to push for certain levels. They just did a interview with actually Morris Robinson. He did a interview with the maestro, who is the guy over.
That's the good bros, right?
Yeah, he's a Q. He's a Q. He's a phenomenal. I mean, he's like the bass baritone to go to.
It's good. All
Like,
right, man, I
he's
need some lessons, Morris.
Yeah,
Roots
he's
is
the.
good, bro. Yeah, we got Omega Men in
Oh, yeah.
opera, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
All right,
yeah,
doing big, as always.
more than a few actually.
All
More
right
than
now.
a few. A lot of deltas, a few famous kappas.
That's a sorrow.
You know, like they have a lot of.
Right
I'm
here.
sorry.
That's right here. That's right here.
But you know
That's
we have a lot of famous people. You know, when if we make it, then we stick together.
It's
And
all
so
good. We all win.
yeah, and we all win, and we normally show out. So
Absolutely. Show up and show out. Yes, sir.
got to.
And that's so this journey, man. This life for you is, I know it's you've been on this road for quite some time now, man.
Yeah.
Explain to me your journey from, I went to Cedar Hill after 8th grade, so high school there. So I knew you at Lancaster in those, those formative years, like they say, like middle school, junior high.
Yeah. So
But explain what your journey's been like since then to get to this point, because a lot of our youth watching need to know
Okay,
it's not a cookie cutter. Easy
yeah,
path.
it's definitely not. I would put it on the same level. I mean, people. I can't speak on what it takes to get to the major leagues, like the NBA or the
You
NFL.
can, brother.
But I do know
you're
that
in 'em.
the worth ethic is
Isn't
close
this-
to the same.
Absolutely. Isn't this Dallas's premier opera?
Oh yeah. I mean, this is
And is there another one to compare? Like, would this be like the Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Mavericks, Texas Rangers of opera? Compared
Well, I
to,
sang. That was my first opera house that I sang at. I no opera shade or whatever you want to call it to Dallas, but Houston
Starting
Grand
no
Opera
beef
is like the second or third best opera house or opera company in America.
Oh wow!
And so
yeah, and because Houston is.
yeah, that was where I
definitely
started off, and my first opera was, of course, Showboat, which involved 20 black singers and 20 white singers. And so when I auditioned for Showboat, I didn't have a degree. Actually, I was singing with people who had like a bachelor's and a master's. But I got in. It took 3 months for me to get my contract in the mail, but I did
Once I got
get
the
in. So once I got my contract, I was like, whoa. And so
Yeah, keep
I
looking
didn't
up
really,
there, Tony.
I really didn't understand the magnitude of it
Yeah.
until my first rehearsal, and I was
Yeah.
like, we're starting on the downbeat, and I'm like, how did I get in here? Like, how? I don't sing this good, like I'm not this, like I'm good, but I ain't the.
I'm at home good, like
people,
around my people who grew up,
Man, it was like
oh, you good.
It was an eye opener because I was so prepared for the rehearsal. SFA got me prepared for that rehearsal.
Wow.
Like the way we rehearsed in Houston Grand Opera was the exact same way we rehearsed at SFA's a cappella choir. So without that, I would have never been prepared for that. But as far as the work ethic, 3 hours a day.
Yeah. We talked.
We talked about
3 hours a day for how long is it?
I mean, I didn't make 10 years, but for about 4 years, I practiced 3 hours every day.
Wow, that's powerful.
Just on opera.
And you're saying 10 years because that's what it takes.
Yeah, that's
mastery, right?
that's the masters. That's the people like Mozart, the people like Beethoven, Puccini.
All the greats out here.
All the greats out here. Even like if you look forward to like in boxing, like Floyd Mayweather and people like that, they have spent an intense amount of hours and time and just focus on
10,000 hours
and it's not daily. Just like it wasn't just me singing for 3 hours a day. It was me studying Italian, it was me studying German, French, English, even because when you're singing in English, you're not it's a different kind of talking. It's different from talking, and so there's some times where I would use the word "the" and I'm singing "the" in English words, or just the really fine,
like the intricacy or
the
idiosyncrasies
intricacies of French, which was terrible for me. But when I got to Texas Southern, my black voice teacher, who was one of the first 3 more tenors, that is like a performing black 3 black tenors. They copied the 3 white tenors like Pavarotti and stuff. You always seen like the 3 white tenors. Well, they had 3 black African American tenors who formed this called the 3 Mo tenors, and they were from New York, and that just so happened to be my voice teacher when I got to Texas Southern. So I'm like, okay, all right, guys. Okay, because I initially just went to Texas Southern to get my degree. I didn't go there to become a better singer.
Oh, got you. I
did not. I mean, it might have been a cocky way to look at it at that point. Now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't come there to be a better singer. I didn't think I had it, but I thought I had enough just to I just need to get my degree. I ain't trying to make it all the way. But when he heard my voice, he was like, okay, it's okay, so he worked on my voice so much, and particularly my French. I don't remember singing. If I had a French song, I don't remember making it through it. If I had a French set or opera solo, I don't ever remember singing the whole French song because he was so meticulous on my French. And so by the time I sang French at this one opera competition, the lady said if I had closed my eyes, I would have thought you was French. And so I sing French really well. And it takes a lot of time. What I didn't do was listen to a lot of people because I wanted to. When I hear certain people, I know exactly who it is. Oh, that's Pavarotti. Oh, that's Leontine Price. Oh, that's that. And hopefully one day I want somebody just to be able to hear me on an iPod or their phone and be like, oh yeah, that's Anthony. I didn't want to get anybody's sound. I wanted to develop my own.
It's crazy because it's crazy how the parallels I see between what I hear rappers saying, like,
oh yeah, it's the same thing. And oftentimes a lot of people don't even realize, like, with getting your music degree or trying to attain your degree in music, you have to study music history.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's a great segment before you.
Music history, honestly, changed my view of most music. Like sometimes I can't even listen to certain things, especially like with the whole Illuminati and all of that stuff in within the music industry. I can tell you like, and also because I'm a Christian, and so I do believe that I have discernment. But with music and knowing how it plays roles into people's minds, and
the power of
specific
music.
chords that people use, whether they put the song in minor, a minor chord makes you sad, a major chord makes you happy, and Wagner was I'm gonna use him as for example. Wagner, which you've heard, dun da 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 dun dun da da dun 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 da da da. Okay, so that is the Rise of the Valkyrie, or the Ride of the Valkyries, Die Valkyrie in German, and he was best friends with Hitler. Okay, that his music was built off of alto brass, tubas, trombones. So every time you hear music with those types of orchestration, you can normally make an assessment or a judgment that they mean some type of evil within that, depending on. And so there was a song that Rihanna and Kanye West, All of the Lights.
Yep.
Do you remember that? Dun, 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 dun. All the same instrumentation of Wagner. And so I never can listen to that song with a good spirit.
Wow.
And so
look at, thank God Kanye changed his life around, or at least came back. Because he did some good, man. You gotta listen to it. You gotta listen to it.
I listen to it.
Because I want you to.
We can debate on it, bro. We can debate on it because I would venture to say that he knew how to choose a very particular choir that sounds perfect. It's the most perfect in tune choir I have ever heard. But so did Satan. He was over music in heaven.
Yeah, that was.
And they said he could sing really well, and Satan knows how to get what. And so my spirit doesn't pick up on it, but I do believe that there are Christians, are people who are seeking God, who might can find something out of Kanye West's music. I don't, because I know music. I know the history of it.
The interest,
and so
that's powerful. And see,
but I also believe
another level.
It does, because I also believe that that's why I can talk to some people who are just like, that they don't want to hear, no, he good because he did this and this. And I can tell you like, well, no, he's not because of this, and that. And because I've studied it. And tied into my Christian faith, but also tied in because I've studied it for years. Yeah. And so I just look at it from a different aspect. I mean,
and I hear even in what you're saying with the brass instruments, like that. You were in band in high school too, right?
I was in band.
So
I
it's like
trumpet.
It's literally all these aspects of what molded you along your journey that you may or may not have even realized were going to
things that you don't even know. Like, I was drum major for 2 years.
Oh wow, you drum major.
Yeah, I was drum major in Langston for 2 years, and we had just got a black band director from Gremlin. And so that was a whole transformation. But I had been playing my trumpet from 4th grade at First Baptist Academy in downtown. So I was very proficient at my instrument. So I was a trumpet player first before I even kind of knew I was a singer.
You had the voice like that. Wow.
Yeah. And so when our junior year came, I believe that I know I was singing at church. But I wasn't singing in any choirs at Lancaster until junior year when Mr. Williams said, I heard you can sing. And we just so happened to fellowship, our churches fellowship with each other. So he ended up seeing me in the choir. And so he asked me to help him out with like solo and ensemble stuff. And I did. And, I always could fake an opera sound or fake like whatever I needed to try to like emulate it.
You were good at emulation.
Yeah, I was really good at emulation, and so that's pretty much how I made my way through like getting ones in solo and ensemble for singing my junior in senior year. But interestingly, they have a thing called the All-State Choir, which is like 7 auditions that you have to get. It's an All-State band, you know, like All-State Orchestra for UIL, and you have to learn this music, and they play. Like, you learn a whole piece of music, but then when it comes down to your audition, like, they're only picking, like, measure 17 through 29.
Yeah.
And it's normally, like, the hardest part. I made it all the way to the region choir, to the audition right before the state choir. And Mr. Williams had just slid me a CD and told me, just listen to this and memorize it. And that's all I did. I wasn't reading music at that time. Now I can read music, like sing it and just look at it like, oh, this is in the key of G, hum it, and then just sing it, you know.
So
but it took me forever to get there.
Yeah, and man, I didn't get there, but that's exactly because I grew up singing in church choir as well, and I could imitate and emulate and just listen by ear, and like they said, that's how Michael Jackson was too. But
I stopped singing church choir music just to perfect my opera sound for almost 2 years.
Wow!
I remember I was singing in SFA's gospel choir, and you really would have thought like I had killed somebody or something, because I walked into my voice lesson one day, bro, and I'm walking in, I'm setting down my books. How you doing, Miss Nita? And she's just looking at me. She said, "Are you in the gospel choir?" I was like, yeah. You need to get out. It's exactly what she told me. I'm like, what? I sing gospel, you know, like this. You're not about to do this. I'm doing enough for you. You're not about to do that. She's like, it's gonna mess up your voice. It's gonna, you know. And then like 2 weeks later, I had got chosen to go to this opera competition. But the thing is that each voice teacher at SFA only had 6 spots. We had 21 people in my voice studio. And so I'm the only black person at that time. So you already know how that goes. I'm chosen as a freshman.
The chosen one.
And I'm walking down the stairs, and I hear a group of white people saying that I sing opera. I'm like, what is that? Gospel mixed with opera. And so that day I said, well, I'm going to have to stop singing gospel. And so
for the time being,
they're
not about to keep the door closed on me, because
I wiped every piece of gospel I had in my voice out. I just like stripped it, because I didn't even know what it was no more for the longest. Like not like literally, but I just didn't sing it. I wanted to
prove them wrong.
I just wanted to get as good as I could in opera, and honestly, I only wanted to get as good at that point to just say, yeah, I told you so. Yeah, I'm black and I can sing this better than you.
Yeah.
But like, it grew from that. Honestly, it grew from that. But it's hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. It's hard out here being. You know, we got to be 2 times, 3 times as good.
Yep, to get half the credit. Yes, sir. That's just facts,
so you know, like
and how do you? Because coming from a predominantly African American school and environment in Lancaster to, I mean, even SFA and then TSU, so you kept culture shifting.
Yeah, it was really, a culture.
And then to go back to integrate into opera.
Yeah,
how'd you?
I mean, it's a culture shock from all over. Okay, you got to get that, because you got your black people saying, "Why you want to sing that stuff?"
That's what
what
I was going to ask.
You got your black people like, "Oh, so you
think
what y'all be saying?"
Yeah.
What y'all be doing? And I'm like, well, if you would come to an opera just to see, then you would notice that they have the subtitles above the stage. So everything that is being sang in a different language on the stage, you're reading it in English above the stage.
Thank you.
You're getting the story. Secondly, you're broadening your horizon. You're doing stuff that normal ethnic people don't do. It's nice.
So true.
It doesn't make you think you're more
better than, or
And actually, with the stereotypes, I would think that black people would really like a whole bunch of drama going on stage. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
Facts.
nothing but drama, 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 drama. You know, he stole this girl from this girl, so now he finna try to go kill the man, and the man done, killed half of everybody in the town, and so now the soprano has to choose from the baritone and the tenor, and they have a fight, and then she ends up killing herself
Oh
at the
yeah,
end.
a whole bunch of
Who
men.
don't want to go see nothing like that?
Or who already watch? That's what they're watching all these reality shows for.
Who don't want to go
Goodness
see
gracious.
nothing like that? You know, like that's drama. That's art. But then you also have the white people like, this is not you. This is not for you. At SFA, I was told that I didn't get a role because I was black.
Straight up.
Straight up. I wanted to sing. It's an opera called Susanna. Susanna takes place in the rural mountains of Tennessee or something.
Yeah.
So the story is that
It
the
said there's
preacher,
no black people there.
the preacher, which is the baritone, which I can sing every note of that role. I've learned it, but I'll never sing it because it's technically not for a black man, and they really don't want to see, because at the end the preacher rapes the soprano. It's like it's a really twisted story, but I mean, you see like this whole town turn on this girl who was innocent, and the preacher is the one who preys on her. But
Wow.
they don't want to see the whole thing at SFA that they had chose a white Susanna, and so they told me, well, my voice teacher told me we couldn't see a black person raping a white person on stage in East Texas.
Oh, so they're saying
This
so
was
they're
also
looking out
this
for
was
you.
well.
They're looking at. They didn't want you to get shot.
No,
is what
they
they're
were
saying.
looking out for themselves because
Yeah.
I believe to break the barrier, they should have let me and the black soprano who had auditioned for Susanna, they double casted the roles. Just make us sing the role
Wow.
together. Yeah, it's going to be kind of sucky, but make us
Controversial.
sing the role together because we deserve, these are the top lead roles. And the way it happened is when you audition for the opera, they give the lead roles to the best singer, like the best two singers. They double cast it.
It makes sense.
At that time, I was the second best baritone at SFA. There was a baritone who could sing laps around me, but he literally had like a journal of his vocal, like, okay, today I sang an F sharp and my throat was scratchy. Like, he did nothing but,
Wow.
like, I still was trying to have my
life.
black life a little bit, but he did nothing like,
Because you're black. Lives
nothing but, I still wanted to go to the Divine Nine parties and the Kappa parties and the Q parties, I still wanted to go to the probates and the step shows sometimes, I didn't always want to be in the 24 Italian book, like, so those were things that I had to miss out. I had to miss out on pledging, because, and I got chose to be a part of a pledge process. I had to miss out on it, There were things that I just had to miss out on to become
prioritize your dream.
where I was. And I didn't even realize that I was gonna, like I said, I actually never thought I would be a professional opera singer. I never thought I would make it that far.
Wow.
And I'm being honest. I thought that I would be a
That's real.
good choir teacher. I thought that I thought I even could be a band director, because I'm still a band geek. My favorite band is Southern University.
Shout out. Yeah,
I go on YouTube and watch all of their band
Boy,
clips.
I know so many Southern alum who are so proud of school. And I can see why when you see that band.
Oh, that band is amazing. And if you think otherwise, you need to get your ears checked. Sorry. But
Coming from a professional opera singer, I think you need to listen.
you know what I'm saying? This comes from me, But I never saw it, bro. I saw everything else around it. So that's like when it happened, like I just was like, whoa. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Stepping on the stage for the first time, like not even with people in the seats, but seeing like 5 rows just go up and seeing like red chairs everywhere.
Yeah, just the whole architecture, structure.
Just the architecture, the structure, knowing like it's about to be
like it's real.
4,000. That and opening night, when you right when the chorus or the orchestra director walks out and you hear the applause. When you're backstage and you hear all them applause, I can do nothing but every time be like, thank you, God. thank you, God. Like, thank you, God. Because you get chills. I'm getting chills right now, just like listening,
reliving and thinking about
it. But every time I hear the applause, like, I have to give thanks to him, because for giving me that drive, and for me not even knowing like why I was doing it, or because like I said, I never thought that I was gonna be leading an opera. So technically, I wasn't rehearsing for that. I wasn't practicing for that. I wasn't staying up late at night, making sure I had my diction in Italian or German right. Like I wasn't really prepared for that.
Too, man.
But he was molding me for it, and that's one thing I think ties into every, like, to rap, into hip hop, you have
definitely
to be
into
focused.
mentoring.
Oh, mentoring, yes. And you have to know, in mentoring, you have to be able to share your good and your bad.
Absolutely.
Like, I had a lot of downtimes in my
your journey
track to get into opera. Like, I was not always doing the right things. I was doing questionable things that like you would think a singer wouldn't do, like smoking weed all the time, and
I actually got a lot of friends who took away their good singing voices because of that.
And see, honestly, like, I never dealt with it, still haven't dealt with it. I'm just gonna chop that up and thank God for it. And like,
right.
But also because I have had 10 years of vocal training, and so I can sing sick, I can sing with a sore throat. There are ways that I know how to just get through it. That's one thing. My voice teacher, my uncle was about to die. This is one thing I tell anybody. They're like, well, how do you make it through, like, certain things, or like when there's things going on? I'm like, because my uncle was about to die the day that, so it was 2009, or was it 8? The day before Obama got elected the first time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
My uncle was getting ready to pass from HIV, and that's my favorite uncle. And I was in Nacogdoches, he's in Dallas, and my whole family, I was getting ready to go to an opera competition the next day. And at SFA, we would sing like all of our songs in front of the School of Music before we went to this specific opera competition. So I'm driving home, getting ready to throw on my nice little suit, tie, like perfect day. I'm getting ready to go back to the music building. And my cousin calls me, hey bro, Uncle Jonathan about to die. And I'm like,
what you mean about to?
Excuse me? Like, I'm distraught. I'm crying, putting on my suit, my tie, crying all the way back up to the music building. And the first person I walk in is I see Miss Anita Hudson, my voice teacher. And she's like, what is wrong with you? Because she was a cursor. She's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, my uncle is about to die like any time now, and it's just done messed me up. And she was like, well, can you sing? And I said, huh? She said, yeah, can you sing? I said, I think so. She said, well, you need to get your together, get upstairs, go warm up, because you're messing up your voice singing. And I was like, and she just walked off, and I'm like, okay. So right when I made it through all of my music, she came up to me after I walked off stage. She came up to me and she just gave me a big hug, and she was like, I'm so sorry. I had to get you through the performance. And she was like, because there's going to be times that this happens to you. And like,
powerful.
Or it could be, she's like, and I had to get you through the performance. And I was just like, okay, because, like, you was on my list, like, it was real rude.
Oh, you don't care?
But after that, like, I've learned that things come. Handle the performance, because God gave you this gift, and if He's giving it to you, people need to hear it, and then
that's good.
Handle your business. But also, if you have a chance to give your gift to someone, whether it's gospel or anything, because there is the voice is the most, in my opinion, is the most precious thing that any human has.
Absolutely.
The power to talk, the power to speak, the power
Words.
to sing.
Yeah,
That's powerful. So and so when people are like listening to it, you make sure that it's, you give them everything. You give them all of the God within you. You know. And anytime I sing, my favorite scripture is, in whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all for the name of the Lord. And so whether it's in opera, whether it's when I was a drum major, kind of, popping it on the field a little bit, keeping it nice, because I knew my mama was going to, she didn't play that.
Tell what up in public.
But anything that I do, I always give it 110%, and I always know that I'm doing this, and somebody is going to see the God in me, and somebody is going to get inspired. There's a young black boy who sings, and that's not that's really not the most popular thing for a black male to do. We get talked about it, like we get called soft, we get called, choir boy, all of that.
Buddy.
But I get paid pretty well to sing, and
at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like it's a really nice paycheck if you get to this point. I'm not spreading dollar signs or anything, but I'm blessed.
Yeah, because you're not doing it for that.
And I'm not doing it for that. But like I could not get paid for it, and I would still love to do it.
Yeah.
Because it makes my heart beat. It makes me go. It makes me wake up in the morning. Like I said, if I have a sore throat, the few times I've had strep throat where I can't talk, those have been my worst days. If I can't hum, if I can't sing something on the radio, if I can't, those are my worst days. So I tell anybody, like, my main focus for youth, period, whether it's basketball, because I'm the drill team director at my church, and I deal with track runners, football players, basketball players.
Yeah, and if they look like us, they all want to go pro, or they all think they're going pro.
Well, honestly, I had somebody at my church, he a Lancaster basketball player. I think he's like future pro. He went to Virginia or something like that.
Yeah.
He like 7'5". He was at Lancaster like three years ago. They ran the championship with him. And I mean, stay focused. And if it's what you love to do, do it to the best of your abilities, and find and never get comfortable in where you are. Always keep trying to pursue and grow and get better in it, because that's just what it takes to be great.
Absolutely.
And that's what it takes to, I just feel like if you're going to do something, why not go 110%? Why not try to be the best at it? I always tried to be the best at everything I did.
Absolutely, and brother. And that's what got you to where you are, man.
Yeah, now that's one thing I will say. Whether it was drum major, I wanted to be head drum major.
Yeah.
When it was when I was just a regular drill team director, I wanted to drill team member, I wanted to be captain. Now I'm the director over the whole thing. And at my church, it's like I always wanted to be there. I also used my common sense, and I also knew myself. So if there was something I wasn't good at, I was a realist. I'm like, okay, I'm not good at that, so I got to find out, something I can do. But even if you're not as good, shoot, I wasn't as good as the opera singers, and I just practiced every day. I practiced
that
every
work
day.
ethic.
That work
try
ethic.
And skip the process. You can't skip the process,
bro.
people.
You can't skip the process.
It's real.
Just like we be in the gym now, like we can't skip.
Man. And y'all, that's how we link back up, by the way.
That's exactly how we link. I'm not that big. I'm trying to get on your level.
Nah, man. I'm trying to get to your level, man.
Nah, bro. I'm cut. But I'm trying to get some meat on my bones, bro.
Yeah, and I'm trying to lose the meat. I'm trying to cut the meat off. Let me cut, and then I'll grow the meat back. Shoot.
But yeah, just staying focused. And
and you remind me of a Martin Luther King Jr. quote too, man. Talking about being the best in whatever it is that you were doing, and that's, people miss out on that because they're always looking for that next opportunity and promotion. Not realizing if you're not the best or doing your best at your current position, why would you get promoted? There's no reason for elevation. And MLK had a quote, and he said, if you can't be a tree, be a bush. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it's not by size whether we win or we fail. Just be the best at whatever you are.
Wherever you are, wherever you are. Because even when I was singing like in the chorus, now this is another thing we talked about, like how some of your people, like who you grew up with. Oh, so you're not singing in front? We not gonna see you in front of somebody? I'm like, no, but you'll see me on stage. You'll see my name in the program under baritone chorus members. You'll probably see me on stage by myself, like with a few other people. Yeah. You'll get to hear, you'll get to see all of the time that I put, but you'll also just be supporting a friend.
Most
and I don't know
what should be most important.
Yeah, I don't know what the disconnect with that is. Sometimes like, okay, hey, can you come here? You want to come see a performance? Yeah, y'all got free tickets. I'm like,
Can you support me?
I mean,
support. When I say support, do you?
Yeah, support your friends, and support your friends don't mean trying to get no free ticket, trying to get a link. Because what, that now you never know. Because I do get discounts. I do bless people. Like you can.
I'm not saying you wouldn't, but it's just you give that to the people who are willing to pay.
Yeah, like
wouldn't want the discount because they know they're going to support their friend.
Yeah,
that's kind of people in your circle.
It's support me because I'm gonna support you and what you do. I'm not gonna ask if you have like a hair business or you cut hair. I'm not gonna ask you to cut my hair for free.
Free 99.
I'm definitely not gonna do that. Like I'm not asking you to cut my hair really at all. And this time at COVID-19, I'll do my own hair. But because I ain't trying to take no risks. This Texas and people out here getting sick, man. Like stay safe. But
it's real.
Yeah, it's just the drive, and in everything that you do, no matter if it's singing, football, basketball, try to be your best at it. And then when you're doing it, this is also something I keep. When I get on stage, I'm like, I am the best person ever at this moment because I'm the only person doing what I'm doing right here, right now. So I'm the best person. Everybody came here to hear me, but then also at the same time, knowing that there is somebody out there that's better than you, so always stay on your stuff. Always stay on your toes. Always stay, because there is somebody out there that's training to be better than you or already better than you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And that's I just listened to Mark Cuban earlier talk about that. You have to work. It's like round the clock, 24/7. Like there's somebody always working and trying to outwork you to take your position. You can.
It was this one time. It was my friend. My friend is younger than me, but he came to SFA, and now this is me like getting opera roles. He came to SFA, and I'm talking about when he sang the first time, he shut it down. I sat back and I was like, okay. Right after that performance, I walked right out of there and walked straight up to the practice room. Like, cause I was like, all right. I'm not about to let this boy come and be better than me. He's not about to be the best black singer. You know what I'm saying? Here, that's my spot. So ain't nobody taking that until I leave.
Duly note.
That's just
I
how
give
I
it
was.
up.
Yeah,
and that's how you have to have that competitive nature.
Yeah, but see, it's very competitive. So if you don't like the word no, and choose another field.
Yeah, don't become a professional in anything.
Yeah, don't. Oh yeah, because in professional anything, you're gonna hear no way more than yes.
Yeah, man, and I see that with a lot of kids who say they're good at gaming. Since we're here at Geekly's esports studio, a lot of kids now mentoring a lot of kids that are saying, "Oh, okay, we're good gamers. Oh, I'm cold. No, I'm cold with. You don't want to see me on 2K and Madden."
But see, I just thought of
get
something
the name, and it's like, I was like, "Well, are you serious? Do you want to be a professional? Do you think you got real skills? Because I know some people. I know Geekly's, and there's
But you know that not everybody makes it, and so even within that,
Bingo.
like if you don't make the NBA, cool. What about like becoming a basketball instructor or sharing like your skills, sharing them to somebody that can make it better for them? Because that was my whole thing. If I never became an opera singer, I know I can teach somebody how to get there.
Bingo.
And I'd rather it be somebody of my skin tone that I want to teach how to get there, because I already know we come in with less. And so, if I
or
never
not even
make
thinking about it.
Yeah, if I never make it professionally, my first voice teacher never sang a lick. She actually, if she listens to this, I'm sorry, Miss Nita, but I did
Don't
not
recall.
prefer her solo voice. That's how I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, leave it there. Leave it there, Ms.
That's how I'm
Cool.
gonna say it. But she has a few singers who have made it professionally.
Big time. Yeah.
So never take that what you think is
A disqualification.
like a disqualification, something that's like, oh, I wanted this so bad and it didn't happen. Okay, change it into something and working for your good. You know, and or working for somebody else's good. Help
Bingo.
somebody else
Most
out.
important. Yeah.
Get them somewhere. You know, help them get to the point because you'll still have satisfaction. Like I know I had a voice student who made it to the Texas State All-State Choir. I didn't, but I have a student who did, and I'm like, yeah.
See, that's what.
You know.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, my drill team at church. We're used to getting first place, but there was a year we got second place, and I was just like, you know, and my whole church was like, you know, kind of like, what is a second place? What's that? You know, because we only have 2 of those and like out of 10 first place trophies, and I'm just being honest. But
Wow.
the next year, I was searching. I was like, what did I do? Was I training them to get first place? So I like scratched everything and I just did a different approach. We never talked about places. We never did anything, and we got first place.
It's made excellence the standard.
Had the cleanest performance we had ever had since 2010. Like it was a clean performance. It had a real strong message behind it. It was like unlike anything anybody else did. We didn't even get no round of applause off the routine because it was so serious and it was so strict. It was so powerful. People were just like, wow. But I know that they went into the judging room and said, okay, we know we got St. Paul got first place. Who got second and third?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we were so clean, you know. And so I just always stay focused and know that if you don't get to where you want to, you can help somebody else get there, or you just have to try harder.
You still can use your story.
You still can use your story.
That's powerful.
Because God didn't take you through anything that you did for any reason. Everything has a purpose.
Facts.
You know.
Your life is not on accident.
Oh no, it's not on accident.
Purpose.
Nothing we do is on accident. Everything, you know, it works together for the good.
For the good, those who.
Oh yes.
Love God and call according to His purpose. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We're not gonna go there. This is not Bible study.
Hey, man. They might need it though. They might need it.
They might.
And last thing I'm gonna ask you, brother. Or no, not last thing. I did want to mention before the 2 bonus questions. The Dallas Opera House. You were telling me about social media, how they're being compared to the Met right now. Explain what.
I mean, honestly,
about.
I wouldn't even say compared to the Met right now. From my understanding,
Go ahead. Get the good sip, because this is
understanding,
it's a big deal.
Okay, so the Met, you have to understand opera. Okay, so opera was formed in Italy. So you have the what is the name of it? Oh my gosh, the Royal Opera House.
Okay, yeah.
Overseas. That's if you sang there, you don't have to sing nowhere else in your life, okay? Because you've made it. You're.
That's like the Super Bowl.
That's more than the Super Bowl. Okay, that is the Super Bowl for us, but also the Met is too, which is in New York. So if you made the Met, then you made the Super Bowl. You know, you won the Super Bowl. To be honest, and the Met is, I mean, that even when it comes down to like Dallas will do 5 shows a season and 6 shows each season, and it will, you know, but the Met will do 20 different operas or 10 different operas, and they starting them off like in August, like where we're practicing in August, they're performing in August already, you know. And so they also have a chorus that is full time. No other opera house in the United States has a full time chorus. So you have to understand that. They can get paid what they get paid in their full time chorus in New York. They can live just fine, just being in the chorus. This ain't singing in front. This is not being the lead singer. This is singing behind the leads.
Wow.
And they can live in New York and be good.
Expensive New York. Wow.
Okay? We already know how the cost of living is there. Just everything. Like apartments there for like this size of room I'm in is about $2,000, $3,000. So they can live comfortably.
So they can see.
Yeah, they're good.
They can see six figures in this space.
Yes.
Man.
So, for one, due to the COVID-19, singing is already, you can spread or transmit the disease at a faster rate, at a 35 percentile rate compared to talking, which is about 11. So, and then with opera, with grand opera, you normally have about 40, give or take the opera, 20 to 60 singers on stage. Okay. That's just not, just not. And
not
also,
the wisest decision.
Also, those are performances y'all are seeing. Y'all are not seeing the rehearsals that it takes to get to that point. I'm talking about 2 months of music rehearsals and orchestra rehearsals and staging rehearsals to get to this point. Okay.
Goodness gracious. And how many hours are we talking a day?
Like 3 hours to 4 hours a day. If you're doing like full rehearsals, sometimes they're like from 7 to 12 at night.
Wow.
So, with that being said,
just to get some kind of idea. And
with that being said, they have now it's being downstage and they're turning to, because we canceled the rest of our season. All operas canceled the rest of their seasons for this year. So, and for most of next year as well. And so now we're turning to the social platforms and the YouTubes, the Facebook Lives, the Instagram pages, subscribing to YouTube pages, like things of that nature. So we're starting to put out content like, or just a lot of different opera companies. They're starting to put out maybe stages of La Boheme or The Marriage of Figaro. These are different operas that they might be showing that they actually have recorded, but nobody has ever seen them. Because that's a lot of times you get like, well, don't you have recording of you singing? I'm like, no, because people are paying like $100, $200, $50. Okay, so somewhere from like $13 to $500 to go see a performance. They're not taping those performances. You can catch one like at in Dallas. You can catch them at Clyde Warren Park, like when we do them live, our live showings. But we did one at the Cowboy Stadium as well when we did Showboat. But other than that, you have to come to these performances. We can't even have our phones out backstage. Wow. Because all of the lights and all of the stuff that's going by, it'll pick up, and so that's just how that goes. But with this, so you would think that the biggest opera company in the United States, second biggest opera company in the world, if not the first at times, would be getting a lot of views off
social media trackings,
but they're not. Dallas Opera is pulling $3 million to $5 million over the Met. Dallas Opera is the second highest viewed opera house right now on social media.
Wow.
And I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because I don't get it. I'll just leave it at that. I don't get it for a lot of things.
Views from like videos from like this,
like videos, like podcasts because they're doing like Maestro has a podcast where he's interviewing a lot of the soloists that they've had throughout the years. Wow. Which Morris was one of them, and he did like the racial one. Well, he has this podcast, and people are viewing that. People are. We have this comedian, this girl who's a soprano. She's a comedian. She does like a little show. People are viewing that. We have the opera educational program, who is ran by two African American women. They have a podcast out where they're putting out, and then they're putting out content of actual shows and actual recitals. there will be some content coming out of black opera singers from Dallas, Latino opera singers from Dallas.
Yeah,
and
I'm about to say, and then
now-
you got yours coming.
and now we got ours like backdooring like in the near future, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, so
you're gonna
this
have to
means,
be our opera mentor, man. 'Cause
well, the thing is that it's pretty exciting because if the right
For
people
our
hear
communities.
you, if the
Yeah.
right people hear you, you'll have. If the right people hear me, I'm praying on a good career out of this.
Oh yeah, and you already.
If
got
not, then
great foundation.
like I said, I have other plans on what I can do with my voice and how I can help us get more of us into opera. But
Absolutely.
my plan is to hopefully I sang good enough today on that recording to where when somebody hears me in Italy, they be like, yeah, come
Like
sing
that
over
stuff.
here
We
in
need you.
2028 after Corona is done. So.
Not 28.
Hey, because I'm really not trying to
Good.
sing in front. Like I'm serious. Like
I feel you.
yeah, it's scary.
All right.
But
I'm not gonna ask you to bless the audience either, man. I'm gonna tell them they should follow you though.
Oh,
And
they should follow
how
me?
can they find you? How can they find in the Dallas Opera House? How do we find it? Like I want to know. I want to see this social media for myself, really.
well, you could just follow the Dallas Opera on Facebook.
It's on Facebook, not Instagram.
It's a group. Yeah,
It's a whole
Like-
group on Facebook. Or?
I believe so. Because you like I said, I in my studying here lately, I decided
I'm
to
looking
get off
on
of
now.
all social media.
Smart.
Only thing I am on is Twitter because Black Twitter, you need that in your life. So, like, I have to get my laugh off of Twitter. But other than that, I don't. I have the social media platforms, like they're still all active, but I do not have them. Like I don't have them on my iPhone. So
Gotcha,
because
gotcha.
I found that I
Get
compare
distracted
my
with
life
folks.
to other
Oh, yeah.
people, and I get
Oh, yeah.
distracted, and
And,
I didn't want that.
And that's a disease for our generation, the social media generation.
Oh, it
man,
is.
'cause
It's like
looking at other people's highlight reels.
Some with personal people I knew, I'm like, you don't. That's not how your house look. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was just like,
Whose house is
okay,
this
who
on?
house is that you saying is your house? You know, like
That's
I
real.
started seeing stuff like that, and I'm like, no, I can't deal with that. Like I can't, cause everybody ain't out here posting or being who they post
the
to
struggle.
be. You know.
Yeah.
And
They
so,
post to be.
Like and you can't always differentiate to that.
Nah.
Sometimes you be like, man, I graduated with them. They got a whole house, and I want a house. I ain't got that yet. You know, and I'm being honest. I started feeling certain things like that, and I'm like, you know what? I had to check myself. Like, no, it's
Yeah.
not. If it's not for you yet, it's because
Bingo.
God doesn't want you to have it. Not that I
Bingo.
was hating on them, because I'm always super excited, especially for people I know. Like, get your house, get your degree, get all the degrees you can. My best friend getting his doctorate right now, and he's younger than me. You know, and
Wow.
shout out to Deshaun Harris. And
Yeah.
um,
But he's not a professional opera singer at the end of the day.
But
so
see,
that's what it's like.
my true friends be like, bro, but you a professional opera singer. I'm
Yep.
like, yeah, but I ain't, but like, no, but bro, you made it, and I'm
Like, you
that's
made it,
what.
man.
Those are the people I surround myself around.
Bingo.
And
that's how
yeah,
you have to keep doing.
That's how you have to keep doing
so what would you recommend for the people who want to get in touch with you, people who want to scout
Dallas-
you or follow the
you can
Opera
scout
House?
me on A_K_ Dixon. That's all lowercase. A_K_ Dixon. My name
Gotcha,
on Facebook is Anthony Dixon. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll probably pull up Houston Grand Opera and Dallas Opera. You'll see that's
Yeah.
as some
See
of
your
my
history.
history. And excuse me, and Instagram.
Dallas-
Did I say?
You said A_K.
Oh, A_K_ Dixon is also my Twitter handle as well.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. Cool. And the Dallas Opera House pulls up when I
and
search.
the
It's not-
Dallas, is it not open?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay, I was about to
It's
say.
not.
Okay, yeah, and so you can look up that and just be staying tuned to commercials that they'll be dropping.
Yeah. So you coming soon is what you're saying. Dropping soon.
Hopefully, we got to. I think they're trying to push it out quick while they're riding off all of this racial
Tension. Right.
tension. that is going on, and hopefully, my big thing is just I hope that we get seen and we get heard.
Yeah.
Because we sound good and we sing the mess out of some opera. Like when black people sing opera,
boy, I can only imagine.
I'm telling you,
from the soul.
Y'all know we
depths.
loud. We don't have no. And the thing about opera, they didn't say just I want to slide to sit. We don't use mics.
Encouraged. What?
Yeah, we don't use mics.
I did not know that. Man,
We have to be trained.
Come back, give a whole master class on opera. Goodness.
We have to be trained to sing over a 65 to 75 piece orchestra. That's under you, but there's no mics on the stage, so everything being heard is coming straight from you. That's why it's so loud, and so and so everything is coming straight from you. You have to push it.
Wow. Yeah, you're gonna have to come back do a master class, bro.
Yeah, there's no mics in opera.
You can blow my mind too many times in this interview, man. I mean, I'm just learning so much. I feel like I'm getting exposed to a whole new world, and I've never been to an opera, and I hate saying that. And I need to make.
Yeah, you have to.
I can't wait to open back up because that has to be an experience.
Oh yeah, like I told you, we out here killing it, and just people from our past, like people like Leontine Price, who was like one of the first black sopranos, pretty much who paved the way for all of the black sopranos we have now. She was the one who was really singing on stage when white people were just barely wanting to clap for her. Wow. But couldn't not clap for her after they heard her voice because she just was so phenomenal. Like I say, you can't. We sing from the roots. We sing from a different place. And
that's real, man. That's real.
And I encourage anybody who even likes singing just to get a voice teacher. I encourage you to hit me up. I teach voice. I need some money.
There you go. You got all these titles. You say you voice teacher, professional opera singer. LVN as well.
I can do it. I can do it for you. I can I know how to hook your voice up, whatever it is.
Man. And that could be a huge lane for you, man.
Oh yeah, and not just opera, but I will say that classical training gets your every other singing better. Your R&B, your jazz, your gospel, all of it.
Yep, because the range, I'm imagining also as well as
it's like
languages.
It's like ballet is to hip hop. It's like your foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you got good ballet skills, you normally are very centered in your body within hip hop, very centered in your body within contemporary styles of dancing.
Yeah.
And so like with opera, it's the same thing. Once I really got my classical technique, Mom, I went to church one day and I sang, and my mom was like, "Boy, I didn't even know you could sing like that." And I'm like, "Yeah, shoot." I just started using my technique.
Had to restructure my foundation.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, I appreciate you sharing all this, Tone, because this has been a true blessing, man. And I got 2 bonus questions for you.
Okay.
And since we're here at Geek Lee's Esports Studio, I got to know, man, what was the impact of gaming on you growing up? How did gaming influence you growing up, or even currently?
Gaming. This is funny though, because I was really into. This is gonna be kind of geeky, but my gaming choice. My gaming choice was Roller Coaster Tycoon.
All right now.
I had all three, like first, second, and third.
Yeah.
I had parks that was actually like on, like that they showed like through other people. Like I really wanted to. That the funny thing is, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to design roller coasters.
Oh wow.
Because I loved them. Like every time, like I would go to, like I would research different theme parks that had like different types of inverted roller coasters.
Geek out all.
And so like the attention to detail and the precision and the time that I spent on making it just right is the same thing I really carried into my opera singing and keeping, like, that I always kind of had. Perfection, precision, not being sloppy. Just
because you're saying you would do that in the game.
Yeah, this
And
is how I
so-
treated. This is how I treated the
Wow.
game. I didn't want like sloppiness. I wanted my curves to go the right way. I didn't want this section in the area of this theme park. Like
Wow.
I was very precise and very like
Meticulous.
about everything I did, and that's exactly my approach that I come to when I sing opera. I learned it all precise first, and then I add my Anthony Dixon onto it. But very, very, very precise, very meticulous,
powerful,
very,
man.
very always
Structure.
like seeing what could one little change can make anything
A
better.
huge difference. Yeah.
And that's how my voice is, you know, like I can fix something on my voice leading up to a performance, like right before I get on the stage, like, oh, I can do this, and it makes
Man.
everything so much better. And so
Wow.
I always thought about this. So gaming really like just always being focused on, and like I liked things like that, like Crash Bandicoot, like
Yes,
things
sir.
that like involve thought process, like involve like, okay, how am I gonna beat this? Like, how do I get around this person to go on to the next round? Crash Bandicoot, really, honestly, the monkey,
Oh yeah. Dang.
Donkey Kong,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Super Nintendo, Donkey Kong. I still play that to this day because I got it at the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Yeah,
like
that's
that,
what my
like
brother-in-law
it just
does
was
when
very
by
like
all those systems.
all of those things like to me were just very meticulous. And I played my NBA Live and stuff like that.
Of course,
but
of course.
things that always
2K,
like
little man.
that. Now, Guitar Hero was what really kicked my. It helped me out with my reading music.
Oh snap!
It helped me out with patterns.
Saw the bit.
The
benefit of it,
like it helped me learn how to like read patterns in music better,
Wow.
and that's all the
So
stuff that I was
as
doing.
So you're saying, yeah, go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna tell you.
Are you saying from high school to professional opera? now?
I'm saying when I started my music degree at SFA, somebody introduced me to
Wow.
the glory that there was of Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
It broadened my horizon to
So
different
true.
styles of music. I like rock music now. I like alternative rock. My favorite band is Red Hot
Yeah.
Chili Peppers. I
Yeah.
love them. But it, like, I was having troubles because in music we had a class called it was like the ear training class, but in the ear training class we had to clap out like really hard rhythms.
Rhythms. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
rhythmic dictation and listening to a rhythm and then learning how to write it down like on a piece of staff paper, like what
Wow.
actual, like was it in 4/4, was it in 6/8, was it in all that. Music Guitar Hero helped me with all of that. It just helped me see it differently. It helped me see it as like
That's great.
beats in my, I don't know how to
Yeah, yeah,
explain
yeah.
it, but
No, that's exactly what it
and
is.
I used to crash on a Guitar Hero, like fall asleep playing it so much. Like I used to just me and my homie
true,
Lunny,
that's-
I used to go to his house in Lancaster like at 10 and come home like right when I had to be home for like my 3 o'clock curfew because I would be stuck playing Guitar Hero just all the time. That's what I played, but it helped my
Powerful.
music. And so those things kind of like,
That's
it's funny
crazy,
because you
man.
have to be meticulous and precise in Guitar Hero as well.
Yeah.
And so all of that, just like those were my styles of gaming. Like still to this day, that's my style of gaming. Like I want good. Now that I'm thinking about it, I need to buy me a Guitar Hero because I don't have
I'm
it
about to say
anymore.
we're gonna have to revisit. You might have to come back up here, man.
Might need to help me with some. It might help me with some Puccini. This Italian I'm learning right now.
That's what's missing from your next level of
Yeah,
your professional
man,
opera career, man. You got to get back in the game.
But also, it helped me zone out when times got hard. When I was
Yeah.
stressed out of with band. When I was stressed
sir.
out of just learning. Like it's always
Life.
good to have a time or something to go to get away from.
that escape. You got
It just so happened that my
That's real.
escape was still kind of molding me for the things that I was getting away from.
Bingo.
So,
But that's what it should be.
but
It
that's
needs to be
normally what
something that's-
happens.
Exactly. Well, when you do the positive escapes, not
Exactly.
the alternatives. 'Cause
Exactly.
and that's what life is supposed to be about, man. And last question is going to be in reference to which mentors you mentioned a good number of them throughout this interview. Which mentors would you say helped mold you into the successful brother you are today, or impacted you the most? And you don't have to. You mentioned a good number of them, but
I'm
you don't
gonna
have
say
can
I
choose
didn't
one, you can
mention
choose
any
few.
of the ones that I'm gonna speak of. I'm gonna say.
Perfect.
I mean, I thank God for Anita Hudson. Like I said, I wouldn't have my voice if it wasn't for her. I remember a time I was hungry. I didn't have anything to eat. She took me to Walmart and spent $150 on filling my house back up. So I couldn't say like that. So without her, my voice there would be no Anthony baritone.
Yeah, man, that's real.
Honestly, but just as far as a mentor, I would have to say my youth pastor, Reverend David Johnson, because he's always been so supportive of me, but always keeping my head on God being the foundation of everything. Like, even times where, like, and I was always like one of the main youth leaders, but there were times like where I did stuff that people were like, like when I got a tattoo, they're like, that wasn't the thing to do for me as the youth leader and for other youth people to see me, but like he just always, like he always listened to like my problems and he always accepted like what I wanted to do with the youth or like my ideas, and then he accepted me being an opera singer. He was a fan. He's a fan of mine. He loves hearing me sing. He encourages my progression in opera, but he also encourages my progression in my walk with God, in my walk in Christ.
Yes, sir.
And really is one of the few people to point out to me that
it connects.
Without God, you don't have this over here. You don't have this opera thing, like you are this opera singer and stuff because of God, and he's the one to make me know that every time I step on the stage, like I said, whether it's singing a hymn, a preparation before my pastor gets up to preach the word, or whether it's getting up to sing a song in French in front of 5,000 people. Everything that I do at that moment is for God and representing Him and representing the kingdom. So do it the best way that I can, and that's why I can just say that He is and still is the person that I look up to and fall back on His words when I'm down, or when I'm like struggling, or when I'm off track, or when I'm doing the wrong things, because I'm not perfect. I'm human, and so that's one of the people
show God's glory through our imperfections.
Exactly, and so that I would have to say without Him leading me and bringing me up and helping me see the leader that I am in just church stuff, I would never be the singer and where I am at today. I know that it's kind of like a broad, but I wouldn't. Because I wouldn't have the encouragement, I wouldn't have the knowledge, I wouldn't have the Bible foundation. I wouldn't have the Bible verses to pull from when I'm struggling or crying or going through, like, because I'm stressed over opera. Because there was a time where I was just like, after Houston Grand Opera, in between when my grandmother died, I didn't have a passion to sing opera anymore. I didn't want to sing it. I never sang it. I mean, for about a year. When I got into Dallas Opera, I had not had voice lessons for a year. Wow. I just sang the last song that I could remember, and the man told me, like, I had never had an audition like that. I had to sing 2 songs. I never had to sing 2 of my songs ever. I always had to sing 1. I actually had to sing 2 songs, and we backdoored and sang my first one again. I was in that audition for 45 minutes, and the only reason why I got into Dallas Opera at that time was because he noticed that I can change stuff quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got in. It was my worst performance. It was like I had no passion for it at that point, but it took it. And honestly, I just was doing it for a check. My first few years in Dallas, just like, okay, well, whatever, it's a check. Other people think it's cool, so whatever, I'm just getting by. But my passion started coming back, and it was.
And what flipped that switch?
I just believe that I realized, like, you really trained for 10 years just to sit here and do nothing with it?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so one day I just, like, was listening to this opera. My computer shut off.
I want to thank you again. The laptop battery didn't die, but it's a powerful interview. I want to thank you again to my brother Anthony Dixon for coming on today. This has been another powerful episode of the Mentor Connector podcast here on the Geek Lease Esports Masterclass, man. It's been so mind-blowing and learned so much. I want to thank brother Anthony Dixon again for coming on today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. And again, we love y'all. We'll see y'all later.
Coming to you live from Geek Lease Studios